Hey guys, it's Miss Amanda, and today we're going to be doing an ice hockey inspired science experiment. So whether you like to play or watch the Islanders or Rangers on TV, you can still do this experiment at home, even if you don't like ice hockey or any sports. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be sliding objects on ice. So before you try to do this at home, you have to prepare yourself. And instead of using a cooking sheet or a pan to put in my freezer, there's no way that would fit. I put some water into a container. I don't think it fully froze underneath, but the top layer is ice, and that's all I need. Then you're going to pick out some items that you're going to pretend to use as your hockey puck, just like that they use in the game. And we're going to slide it around and see if it makes a good hockey puck. Also, if you hear a weird noise, it is my dog Ruckus once again. Here he is, chewing on his toy. Alright, so I'm going to read you off what we're going to try to use as our hockey pucks. And we're going to see which one is the best one. So in order to see which one's the best one, it depends on which one slides the best. So whether it slides completely, or it gets a little stuck, or it doesn't move at all. So the one that's going to slide. So over here, I made a board. This side of my board says predictions. What is a prediction? A prediction is a guess. It's what you think is going to happen, and then we are going to test it out. So we're going to make predictions and guess if each item is going to slide or not slide. Of course, on the ice. So let's look at the first one. The first one is dice. We're really just going to use one. So we're going to see if this die is going to slide nicely onto my ice. The next one is a nail file. If you ever used a nail file before, you know that it's a little rough and grainy because it's needed to file nails. It looks almost like sandpaper. It's a little baby one. Then we have a rock. This is one of my rocks that I painted to a ladybug from an earlier video. It's not too rough. It's one of my smoother kinds of rocks. I got a pom-pom. This is my pom-pom. Then I have a bottle cap. And I have a quarter. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to guess to see which one is going to slide and which one is not going to slide. Obviously, you can guess at home. I'm going to make my guesses on this sheet, and I'm going to share it with you. So my prediction for dice is that I think it's going to slide. So I'm going to give it a nice big X. Now, for my nail file, I don't think it's going to slide. So I'm going to give it an X under no slide. My rock. It's a hard one. I'm going to guess no. My pom-pom. I'm going to guess yes. My bottle cap. I think it kind of looks like a hockey puck, so I'm going to guess yes. And same thing with my quarter. So I think that they're all going to slide except for my my nail file and my rock. So your guesses and your predictions may be different than mine, but we're going to test them all out and see the final results. So I'm going to put this to the side. We can look at that later. Let's test out our ice rink. Okay, so my ice is already melting a little bit. There's some water on top. My ice is uneven over here, so I'm going to use it where it's nice and smooth and even, how it would be usually when people are playing hockey. My first item is the dice. Let's see. I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to put my finger on top and apply some pressure. And it is sliding around very easily on the ice. So now I'm going to go to my result side of my sheet, and I'm going to find dice, and I'm going to say yes, that it did slide. And I'm going to give it a nice big X. So the next on my sheet is a nail file. Alrighty, here's my nail file. I'm going to put it on the ice, put my finger on top. Oh my god, it's not moving at all. only if I kind of push it, but if I apply some pressure and I push it, I really can't move it. So I'm going to go with nope, no slide for my nail file. So far, I've been correct. Next is my rock. All right, I'm going to put it on top. Here's my finger, and I'm going to push it. All right, not too bad. It's a little bit harder than the dice, but I say yes to sliding. Next up is my pom-pom. Alright, so here's my pom-pom, and let's give it a go. I'm going to put it down on my ice. Press down like I did for all of the other ones, because they have to be the same. And I'm going to slide. Alrighty, not as smooth as the other things. Oh, got a little bit stuck there. But he is sliding. So I'll give my pom-pom, I'll put it closer to the nose section, but I'll give it a slide. How about that? All right, my next thing is a bottle cap. I'm going to try both sides just to see. So I'm going to put the top of my bottle cap first. Slides out perfectly. All right, now I'm going to flip it over and let's test it out. Oh, now my bottle cap is not moving at all. It was really stuck on there. Interesting, right? So I'll give it 2 X's. And last but not least is my quarter. Marcus is now licking the ice rink. All right, we can still test out the quarter, even if he does that. So here I go. Here's my quarter. Let's find out, Ruckus. Ooh, it's actually, Ruckus, you can stop looking at me now. Wait, it's actually not sliding. Oh, the quarter made a little indentation. I think it's because the ice is melting. Otherwise, the quarter is actually sliding. Ruckus, stop. Is actually sliding very smoothly. Except there's a little hole here. That's so weird. Okay, so yes to my quarter. All right, so let's flip it back over and let's go over what we just did. Alrighty, now let's compare our predictions that we made before the experiment to our results that we wrote down and recorded as the experiment was going on. So let's go item by item. The dice, I guessed slide, and I was correct. The nail file, I thought it was not going to slide. Once again, bingo, I was correct. My prediction for the rock, I thought it was not going to slide, but I was wrong. It slid. My prediction for my pom-pom is that it would slide, and I was kind of half wrong. It kind of slid. Wasn't the best hockey puck. I would not play ice hockey with a pom-pom. All right, my bottle cap, I thought it would slide, but it turns out we found out only one side of the bottle cap slid, but the other one did not. Last but not least, I thought the quarter would slide, and I was correct. All right, so why did some things slide better than others? Isn't it a little fishy? I mean, it is ice. Ice seems pretty slippery and smooth. I thought that everything would slide around, right? Well, there's a thing called friction. And when two things rub together, they make friction. And sometimes, depending on what those two things are, it may stop the motion, stop whatever's moving, or it may slow something down. And that all depends on the item's texture. So we use our sense of touch, and when we use our fingers and our hands to feel, to see how things are. So we can see if things are smooth, if things are rough, if things are fuzzy, and so on and so on. So we found out that some of our smoother items were able to slide the best. For example, my dice, even though it had little divots in it, it's still overall, whatever was touching the ice was super smooth. Same thing for my quarter, and my rock was super smooth, so it had less friction. The smoother something is, the more it gets to slip and slide around, and there's a little bit of friction. However, when I use my nail file, for example, it really likes to grip onto the ice. It did not want to move. It was stuck. So things that have more friction are usually things that are a little bit more rough or sometimes sticky, right? So then they can't really move and slide around. That is why my bottle cap on this side is nice and smooth. However, if you ever felt the edges to the other side of a bottle cap, it's actually a little bit rough. So these edges created more friction when I was pushing it down on the ice that it wouldn't move and slide around so much. I'm sure you've probably experienced friction before too at home. Have you ever owned a pair of fuzzy socks or regular socks that had the little grippies at the bottom? So usually when you're wearing socks or fuzzy socks, you're slipping and sliding around. However, they made socks that have grippies on the bottom that can slow you down and help you from not slipping and falling. Usually you can get these at Bounce or Sky Zone. They give them to you. So then when you go on the trampolines, it's easier for you to jump. And so then when you land on the trampoline, you're not falling on your bottom and you're able to land on your feet because the grippies on your socks are going to hold you down onto the floor and they have friction, so they're allowing you not to move. So your feet are not going whoosh and you're sliding onto your bottom. So that is why a hockey puck is designed the way it is. So it's lightweight and it's nice and smooth on all of its sides. So then it's perfect for gliding around the ice rink when they are playing ice hockey. That's why they do not use anything rough, anything too heavy, or anything sticky. So you guys can try this at home with different items that maybe you want to test out, that you think might work or might not be the best at all. Make sure that you put some water in the freezer and turn it into ice beforehand, and then make sure that you make some predictions and you then record the results and you can see if you were right. Have fun, guys.